Good morning, Merlea.
Morning.
Good morning to everyone who is joining us today on the Northland Travel Facebook or YouTube page. Welcome. We're excited to join you for another Wednesday virtually. And Merlea and I were just chatting about the beautiful weather this morning.
Oh, gorgeous here at the lake. Gorgeous here at the lake.
Smells like summer. I mean, it's looking beautiful today. So a person could get used to this, I think.
We'll take these temperatures without any. We need the rain, but without any rain coming in. So we'll kind of say what we're gonna do. Deal with everything. It's gonna be fun.
Yes. Well, we've got kind of a fun talk ready and scheduled for today. It's always a good time when Merlea hops on, and I always learn something, I think, too. Before we get to that and the information she has to share, I just want to remind you that we are live virtually right now. So we can see your comments, we can see your questions. If you want to say hello, if you want to wave to us, if you want to share with a friend, go ahead and do all those things. We would love that interaction, and we would love the help getting the word out about some of the awesome travel that we have going on.
I tell you, we have a list by the time with the mailing that's just gone out from you. We've got a good full list coming up for not only this year, but in the future, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Very exciting.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah. Now, before I let you take it away, I am telling you, you wanna tune in today. Listen to Merlea. Like I said, you always learn something, and I'm sorry, I got to point this out, Merlea. She has the coolest planner.
We're going to see this. You want to see my planner? Yeah. We're going to talk about my planner. This is my new planner. Okay.
Check out the date.
I'm going to open it up. I'm one of those people that always deals with more than a year. I always have. You know, let's face it, my grandkids' birthdays aren't going to change, and neither are their anniversaries. You know, Christmas is Christmas. I've always dealt with a 5-year planner. Discovered couldn't find a 5-year planner. So Amazon Prime and I are best friends, have been for quite a while. And they had a 10-year planner. And this works perfectly because Terry and I tend to schedule things out. Mm-hmm. That way everybody has to plan around us. Isn't that terrible? You know, my new planner. Love it.
That was the coolest.
We schedule out. And the nice thing is we can take a good look. Then Rhonda and I can talk, and we can make sure, especially if people want to go maybe more than one place in a year, or they want to do something domestic and something international or cruise, we can schedule around that type of thing. So when not only Terry and I are doing our scheduling, but when Deb's scheduling and Rhonda's filling calendars in, we kind of know so people can make lots of choices on their travel, which is what we do.
It's something too about, you know, you decide you're going to go on a trip, you put it on your calendar, it's legit, it's happening, you know, and it's about, you know, making the commitment, making the time to get out and see those places. And I just think that's really cool. A 10-year planner. I'm going to make a purchase later today. So I think
it's fun, you know, and you know, the other thing is especially with we all have our bucket lists, and a lot of us are on fixed incomes in retirement. So it gives us time to get an idea. Okay, if I want to go here, it's maybe going to cost me this, so I'm going to start planning ahead. Yep. You know, and right now the fun thing, maybe not fun, but the fun thing is that we've all been sitting home the last year or so. So all that bucket list travel money that we were going to spend a year and a half ago is sitting there. So, you know, my logic, you add that to what my next year's travel budget I'm thinking is going to be, and whoop, I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And Merlea, like I said, she's gonna fill us in. She's a wealth of knowledge. Today, we're just going to talk about all sorts of things. We're going to talk about some different countries and some of the destinations that are on track for 2021. Just some different updates there. She's going to share with you about some 2022 schedule. And then also, I think heard you say 2023 as well. So I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to let Merlea work her magic and tell us all the things. And like I said, be sure to say hello or send us comments or questions.
Send some things into us. So we love that. So
you bet.
All right, let's start out with last week. Last week we talked about Unique Wonders of Oregon, our 33rd state, the only one brought into the Union on Valentine's Day, on February 14th. So the Beaver State. We talked about that, our Wonders of Oregon trip. That one is on a request basis. So if you are interested, please get your name into Rhonda so that she's got things. Things are opening up with the air with the CDC domestically. With how many seats we're able to have, but we do need to know. So please, if you're interested, get your name on the list with Rhonda right now, so she can give you a call if and when space is going to open up on our Oregon trip. We've also been talking about New England. Last week we mentioned $199 air. I mean, unbelievable price on air. $199 air. That special was up yesterday. We've been able to negotiate. We do have $199 air until Friday, this coming Friday before Memorial Day. So again, very limited. But if anybody is sitting on the fence, if you're thinking about New England, be sure that you give Rhonda a call right away, because it's very limited on that $199 air special, and it took some fast talking to get a couple more days on that pricing for us.
Awesome. So $199 air, May 28th. That's it. That's all.
Till Friday. That's it. That is one of our trips that again, when you see the brochures, the Des Moines pre-night is optional on that. It'll be an additional cost over the cost on the brochure. With it, Terry and I are kind of doing some changing on some of that. A few of them will have the pre-nights included. Some of them we won't. Again, depending on air schedules, there's no sense in somebody coming into Des Moines the night ahead if we're not leaving till 2:00 in the afternoon the next day. So again, that's going to be a hit and miss on our tours. One time you're going to see it one time you're going to see it another place with it. But it's still going to be a good deal. But $199, like I said, till Friday. I know a lot of you getting ready for Memorial Weekend, but boy, like I said, if you've had questions, if you've been sitting on the fence, I know we have had a lot of requests on this for brochures and information. So if you're sitting out there with brochures, information, and are interested, let Rhonda know right away. Again, it's coffee time, so at that time of the morning, so be sure you've got your cup of coffee with you while we talk. And I apologize. I know I talk quickly and I talk a lot, so have your cup of coffee and put your thinking caps on here.
Look out, Merlea's got her 10-year planner and she knows how to use it.
I'll tell you, yeah, we're cooking here, and the worst thing is I keep Terry. In fact, just this morning, Terry said, I really need to get to Antarctica. So I kind of took a look at the planner and I said, well, let's see, 24. So it sounds like he's starting with that wish list again on me. And sometimes things change when he throws in a place he's decided we need to go. So back of your mind, we may be hitting that seventh continent down there, way out.
We just had a question come in, I think from Marilyn. Do you want to field this one here? Can you see that?
Hi, Marilyn. Rhonda's planning on getting back to you. Right now, it is not rescheduled because everybody is figuring that Australia is still going to be going. We've got 10 months out there. And we'll be talking about it a little bit later, but we have 10 months to go on opening. The countries are opening up. So we did talk with the vendor on that, and 2022 is still a go with the regular dates. So I would say go ahead and get that deposit in, and then we're going to be working with it from there. Deposits have been coming in on that. And
Merlea, you were just talking, I think, before we started our live, how amazing this pricing is, right, on this trip. Yeah, let's just skip over there, Marilyn, since we've got you on there. Australia is scheduled for March 20th to April 18th. Of 2022. Again, an optional in Des Moines because we don't know what scheduling is going to be. Right now, because of the fact we've rolled this trip, we've been planning on this for quite a while, and we've rolled this. We are at 2019 pricing. We're never going to see prices this low for Australia, plus $500 off until September. So we've got the pricing on it is phenomenal. It's never going to stay that low again when we start seeing the prices.
They are saying Australia is going to be quite probably one of our last countries opening up because they have made themselves so very safe during all of our problems. But there are a lot of rumors flowing out there. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in writing that says they are not opening up with what they're going to do. Every day we're all looking at not only our own CDC websites, our U.S. travel government websites. We're checking the Australian websites, the New Zealand websites on this with all these countries. Rhonda's got her finger on all this. We can't book somebody on a trip when it's not going or with anything. And right at the moment, like I said, our tour operator is figuring that they are, with 10 months out, they are definitely going to be open and we will be going with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, and if you stop and think about that too in other aspects of your life, like imagine buying a car at 2019 prices.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of unheard of. That's a good deal.
It is. It is. As much as we hated to have to roll this each time from a couple trips,
Right.
the fact that our pricing has held with the way prices on everything are going up, it's definitely going to be there. So, Marilyn, I'd say if and I apologize, Rhonda's been extremely busy to get back to you, but give her a buzz just on the phone and visit about it because we do have a lot of answers right there from the vendor on it. But I'd say, go ahead and get that deposit in and we're going. Terry and I, our deposit's in, and let's see, we've booked, I'm going to ride a camel at Ayers Rock and Sunrise for an extra trip. And we're going to do dinner with Maori and Devon, Antarctica, just a video kind of display interactive thing down there we're going to do. So we're excited, and it's going to be a lot of things. We've got a good list of the options that are available for pre-booking on that. And like I said, by the time $500 off until September is unbelievable. 2019 prices, $500 off. You're not going to find that kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's going to be slick. It's going to be fun. Australia, New Zealand, and then 3 nights just to collapse in Fiji and do some extra things if you want, or sit on the beach, or just say, "Woof, I've been busy," and I'm going to add one more thing off my bucket list and say I've been to Fiji. Yeah, it's checking those things off on my scratch off map and on my push pin map, and and getting one more country on that with it. Same thing with that. Pride of Poland is September 20th to the 29th this year. Again, we've had questions with people that are booking, that are looking at it, that are on the fence. The EU is opening up. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things coming out with the CDC and a lot of talks on TV with the news shows and things that Britain had opened and the EU is opening up. The EU countries are opening up. Right now, it's pretty general that U.S. and again, I'm going to say right now in 5 minutes, that could change. We all look at it and say nothing is written in concrete in our new lives.
Yeah, we're watching this on the replay.
Yeah.
You may need to give a call to the office, but yeah, right now.
Yeah, and that's exactly how we're doing it. It's we can look into it, but let me check today and see what the requirements are going to be. Let me check. Let me check before you go, and you may hear something that you've got to do additionally. Anyway, EU in general, just overall, opening up to Americans that have been vaccinated. And it's been vaccinated, you'll see that in print. It's Americans that have been vaccinated with one of the approved vaccines. Pfizer, Moderna, and I believe Johnson & Johnson are on that list. So we've basically right now, the ones we're getting in the US aren't a problem, but it is vaccinated citizens. It is going to depend on each country, however. If once you are in country, if you have to quarantine, same with Mexico, any of those places right now. It's per country, but right now what the EU is trying to do is get everything within all those countries belonging to the EU. They're trying to get it more standardized. So it's going to be a little bit easier with it. The nice thing about it is, none of us can know everything about a country, and I'm a firm believer in step-on guides and, and tour operators that hire people that know what's going on. The nice thing about that is our tour operators are very definitely on tap with that. They're watching it closely. We are planning at the present time that Poland is going to be going September 20 to 29. It's going to be a great trip, north to south, all the way through the country. Gdansk, Warsaw. Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal with all the history there and the World War II things there, and a good fun trip.
And I think you'd agree. I think you'd agree here too. You know, one of the definite benefits of traveling with Northland, traveling with Rhonda specifically this year, and now after the ick, as we like to refer to it, is that you said it earlier. Rhonda really has her finger kind of on the pulse of things, and some of this information might be a little overwhelming to people. And
it's overwhelming to everybody.
Yes, and Rhonda can help with all of it. I mean, she can figure out, you know, exactly what all the expectations would be for some of these other destinations. So, definitely one of the benefits of traveling with Rhonda.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and we're still seeing some of the testing 72 hours prior.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's country by country. You know, no matter if we're in Europe, if we're in Mexico, or if we're in the Caribbean, it's country by country with what's going on. So it's, you know, things are changing, and they're going to be changing all the way until we go. For those of you with Poland, like I said, we are planning on going this year. We've got to get out and we've got to get started going. However, and I'll put a question mark, I'm going to get to Poland because we started researching this, and it's one of those countries I don't want to hit the 17 countries in 30 days, which I did as a kid years ago. You know, we want to know Poland. It's a unique place. It's going to be a different country to be visiting, and we're going to do it in depth as much as we can in our time period. So don't worry if you're booked this year and there is a problem, it does not open. We do not feel that not only Northland, but the tour company we are working with does not feel it is safe for us to go into. We'll go next year in 2022. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're interested, get your name on the list. We'll get going on Poland and see what's going on with that.
Another thing to learn from this is if there's a trip in your planner, you're going.
Yep.
You will get there.
Yeah, that's just it. We're going to get there one way or the other, and I got 10 years to figure it out here with it. So, yeah, we're gonna have fun. With that, I know Rhonda's been having some question on cruising. The Senate just passed, and Alaska they've worked it out, figuring out how the cruise ships are going to get into Alaska, and we're going to get some help up there for the cities in Alaska with tourism. It is still open as far as what they're going to do with the Florida ports. So what we're seeing is some of our cruise ships have put themselves into the Med. They are going out of different ports. They're going out of some of the islands. They're going out of places that they're not going out of the U.S. per se, but they are starting to cruise. The majority of them we are seeing again vaccinated clients. I'm not pushing anything one way or the other onto people, and of course there's exceptions to every rule with things, but our cruising is starting to open up also with it. So we're starting to see, you know, the whole industry is starting to rebound, to get heavier. And a lot of things coming out day by day on it, but we're lucky. We have a lot of resources at the company between us, and we've got between Judy that works in the background with us, and Rhonda and I, and you know, we've got a lot of years in the travel business, and so we kind of know at least who to tap and where to call and where to check on many of these things with it. So we're going. Let's talk 22. I'm getting a lot of people that are saying, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with 21. You know, we haven't seen the grandkids. We haven't seen this. We've got 21 looked at. So I'm getting a lot of questions on what Terry and I are going to do in 22. As you realize, we do some domestic tours, not a lot of them. Deb does the majority of our domestic with Northland. Terry and I do a few domestic things, and then we do bucket list, because we have our bucket list. As Antarctica just added to it. So here we go. So for 22, what we've got planned, and like I said, I'm getting some questions for you, so we'll just kind of hit on it quickly. Our rock and roll trip that has been rolled now twice because of things opening up. Cleveland, Detroit, we're going to hit the rock and roll history in Detroit and do some things, the art scene in Detroit, then on over to Cleveland for the Rock and Roll Museum. We're going to do a cruise on the river. It's going to be kind of a fun 5-6 days. That's going to be mid to late June in 2022. Be a little while out before we've got the dates on that. Again, just because of the way things are opening up with us. But that's going to be late June. Late July into the first week of August, we are going to go back to the Canadian Rockies. It's been quite a while since we've been in Canadian Rockies, and it's beautiful. The U.S. Rockies are phenomenal. The Canadian Rockies add a little more majesty to that as they get a little rougher and a little bit more ornate. On with it, we're going to go in and out of Calgary. Fun town. Last time I was in Calgary, they were having dragon boat races on the river when I walked down there. So Calgary's a fun place. They have Heritage Park that does all the Mounties and the heritage of that area and of Canada itself. Beautiful museum there, and dinosaur museum, and a beautiful museum there. So Calgary's a fun place, site of one of the Olympics, so the Olympic Stadium's still there. We're going to do Edmonton for the North America's largest mall. We'll do Jasper National Park. We'll come down the Icefields Parkway with Magdalene Lake, which is beautiful, sitting there. We'll ride a snow coach, which is like a big bus, but the tires, I don't even come to the bottom of the black on the tire when you ride a snow coach, and we will ride right out onto that glacier with it. So, and then back out of Calgary, that's going to be, it'd be a fun trip. Canadian Rockies Net is going to be July 28th to August 6th. For those of you that are looking at your planner, so we're headed there. If, and it's a great big if, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm going this year. If we would have to go into Poland, again, it's September this year. We'll roll that as close as we can into September for your planning stages on it. Then fun one that we've had a lot of questions on. November 1 to 12, we are going to South America. 3 countries in South America: Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. We'll go into Rio with everything there on it. We'll ride the COG train up to the Christ the Redeemer statue. One of the main things, we'll do the Brazilian National Park, the Argentina National Park, Iguazu Falls. You know, besides Victoria, Iguazu is one of those phenomenal, beautiful falls. Phenomenal is the word I use because it's like, can't think of anything else. So we'll do Iguazu Falls. We will see it both from the Brazilian and the Argentinian sides. Kind of like seeing Niagara from Canadian US. You get a different view from both sides. So we're going to see it from both sides. So a lot of photo ops with there. We'll do a tango show in Argentina with dinner. You know, I can't kind of go down there without doing a little bit of the tango. So we're going to really have a good highlights of those 3 countries November, first part of November, with that to end up 22 with us. We've had some questions on 23. Where are you going? You know, what are you going to do? My planner is in, oh, that's the back of my planner. Isn't that kind of neat too? I have trouble with this, but I love the front with the maps on it. 23, we are still planning on doing a med cruise, Eastern Med cruise. Again, you're not going to have a lot of positives on this. For one thing is, any cruise you book, they always have the option of changing ports and changing where they're going to go right up to the time actually that you get there. We found that out in Cuba a couple years ago when they made some changes on the ports with some things going on with the government. We are going to do the Eastern Med. Many of you did, several of you did the Western Med with us a few years ago and did the ports. So it's going to be the Eastern Med this time. We'll pick up Greece, but what we're watching for is some stops in that Eastern Bloc, the Israel stops, some of those Eastern port stops that we don't see otherwise on the trips. I've been watching one. It's the itinerary has floated in, then the itinerary is gone with what's going on in the world. So, but that is the Med cruise with the Eastern. We'll just call it Eastern Med this time rather than Western Med for it. We are going to South Africa with a safari. in 2023, and we're also going to be doing Scandinavia in 2023. Again, one of those things that a lot of you requested. Watching the itineraries, because with the fact is, both of you know, we kind of, with doing our bucket list, we've got some things we want to be sure are in those itineraries that we want to do, the flan train, some things like that. But we also want to be sure, seeing how many countries we can get in that in Scandinavia to get us a good itinerary. So three, like I said, Eastern Med, South Africa, Scandinavia, with a couple other fun little things put into 23, but that's where we're headed. And it sounds like maybe Antarctica 24, hon. You know,
you heard it here first.
see what the man over there in that chair decides he wants to do here. So,
yep.
But good busy schedule. You know, added to a lot of fun domestic things. But that's kind of where we're headed. You know, I appreciate everybody having coffee with us this morning and checking your planner, and check your planner. You know, mark it off. Start looking. If you've got that bucket list, make the list and then say, when are we going to be able to do it, and go forward to it as fast as, let us know. You know, it may match our bucket list.
Sure. Yeah. If there's any idea.
We may be headed there at the same time. We can give you some ideas on what that's maybe gonna to run, so you can start putting it in that extra little pot on the side, or that extra little account where people keep things. You know, so we can get some of that travel in, and the world is opening. The world is opening up as fast as we can get it to open up, and as safely as we can get it to open up. So as soon as it's safe, as soon as it's ready, you know, our bags are pretty much half already packed with what we're going to do. Our passports have always had a shot vaccine. We've always run with yellow shot CDC vaccines for cards for years. So, you know, add one more card to the inside of your passport, and off we go with the regulations. And don't worry, Rhonda's going to be on top of all of that, you know, for every place we go and what we're going to be doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun talking and visiting, Rachel, this morning.
You know, I always have a couple questions.
You bet.
So this possible Antarctica in 24, would that have you in every continent then? To every continent?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Then you've been. Yeah.
Yeah. With it, because like I said, we did China more years ago than I like to remember, and we've had so many that have said, "Can we go back to China?" And of course, Terry did a lot of time. Terry's retired military, and so Terry's pretty much touched on a lot of these. Actually, when we do Australia, he's been in Australia. He was in Sydney with service, so we're going to be, you know, touching all of us. And like I said, now we're going with our Poland. We're going specific on some of these country by country. You know, like the overview, but when we find something interesting. The same with our Oregon. We're gonna delve in and say, okay, we need to know more about this.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, not just to say that you've been there, but you've almost experienced, you know, a good deal of it too. So, by the way, I caught that. You kind of made it sound like 7 continents, no big deal. Like, that's a big deal.
That's kind of fun. Cool. It's kind of fun, you know. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of saving, and you know, it's worth it. Some of us do different. We all do different things, and in our retirement, this is what we planned on doing. So it makes it fun. Just one,
I think, final thing too, for those who maybe aren't as familiar with you as some of the travelers who've already been with you on trips and different destinations. Can you just talk a little bit about, you know, how about the professional side of your travel experience? I mean,
actually, the funny part is I grew up doing motor coach tours. My grandmother couldn't find anybody that would travel with her, and she loved to go on bus tours, is what she called them way back in those years. So anytime she wanted to go someplace, I was the travel companion. So from a little kid on, even when it was on the Greyhound bus to go across the country to visit somebody, I was the travel companion. So I kind of grew up on travel tours, or on going on tours. I retired out of AAA after more than 21 years in West Des Moines and Marshalltown offices. And not only was I in the office selling travel and insurance, I escorted tours for AAA all over the world. So again, I am definitely not an expert on any way, shape, or form on anything. But I'm a firm believer in finding somebody, whether it's in a city or in a country, that knows what they're talking about. You want to come up here to my hometown, Clear Lake, and I'll take you around and even show you where the bodies are buried. But literally, because the high school is right next door to the cemetery. But I'm a firm believer we need to have people with that next step of experience up there, and we're going to do it. So I retired the same time Rhonda did, out of AAA 13 years ago. Kept my finger in it a little bit with some places we wanted to go, and personally, some things worked out that Rhonda and I could work together again, and pick up a little bit of her domestic, and then pick up her cruise and international trips for her. So, like I said, she and I've known each other quite a few years too. 30 probably plus years on that. So between everybody, between all of us in the office, Judy's been there too with a lot of experience over the years. So there's a lot of experience back in the office that if we don't know exactly where we're going or the answer to the question, we sure know who to talk to find out.
You bet.
Oh, and Terry traveled the world. Like I said, joined the military and traveled the world, and he's touched base on quite a few places too. So kind of makes it fun between us. We have that push map, and we have that scratch off map, and go, we haven't been here. We better find this spot.
We might need a travel talk on a couple of those someday. We can check that out.
I'll hold them all up and show you. Here's my maps. Here's my maps. So but it's been good. It's been fun.
Well, Merlea, thank you so much today. I think we always learn something from you. And again, if you're just joining us now, go back and watch. Merlea has updated us on some of the different countries that we're looking on at visiting in 2021 and 2022.
And we have some webinars online too that we've done ahead of time on some of those to check out.
You bet. You can find us on YouTube or on our Facebook page as well. So some great updates there. Thank you again, Merlea.
Thank you everybody for listening.
And I know I can safely say from everyone at Northland Travel, we sure hope you have a wonderful and happy Memorial Day weekend that is quickly approaching.
Have a good one and enjoy your time. We'll hope the weather's good.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.